Hi, I'm Nick Palmisano.
And I'm Matt Finney.
And this is the Bad News Network. Quick impeachment update because we're all tired of it. The president has officially changed his strategy from "this is a witch hunt" to "if you're going to impeach me, then do it." This is actually a pretty baller move, and it once again shows that whatever you think of the man, he is absolutely the superior marketer in this situation. His message is now, hey Pelosi, drop the articles and let's have this trial in the Senate and see what happens. He knows what's going to happen. He's going to win. In the end, this whole thing is probably going to end up looking bad for the Democrats. And it's not going to matter that the vote in the Senate is going to be as partisan as the vote in the House. The whole thing will be put to bed and he will walk away as the winner. Simultaneously to this strategy change, Nancy Pelosi announced that she has asked the committee to draw up articles of impeachment. This is the formal beginning of the impeachment process. After that announcement, she was asked by a reporter whether or not she hated President Trump. She responded instantly aggravated with, "I don't hate anyone," and went on to say that as a Catholic, she was offended by the idea that a Catholic could hate. Valid. After all, can any of you out there think of even one Catholic that judges others or has the ability to hold a grudge? I know I can't. Anyway, after walking off, she came back to the mic, pointed at the reporter and said, "Don't mess with me." I'm not an expert, but after a response like that, it's possible that she might hate Trump. Needless to say, it's pretty clear that this was an explosive situation.
The Hong Kong protests are spreading into mainland China, and China is pissed. The protests kicked off in Guangdong province over a government crematorium being built. Protesters were reportedly chanting, "Just like you, Hong Kong." China has reportedly responded with police brutality, going door to door looking for protesters. Meanwhile, hospitals have reported an influx of patients, and many residents have condemned the police for making people disappear. On the whole, China has been working tirelessly to keep reports from getting out, which is a nice break from their normal activities of stealing organs from prisoners, stealing IP, controlling all the resources in Africa, polluting everything, and generally just being evil.
In even more evil regime news, this week Iran murdered 1,000 protesters according to US and allied sources. Iran, however, refuted those contentions, saying it was merely in the hundreds. If only they had Antifa to set them straight.
According to Black Friday analysis, Americans have bought enough guns to arm the entire Marine Corps. There are currently just over 182,000 active duty Marines. Statistics say that just over 203,000 background checks were run on firearms purchasers this holiday.
This week there were 2 shootings that took place at 2 different naval stations. The first was at a US Navy shipyard in Pearl Harbor on Wednesday. The gunman, an active duty sailor, opened fire on a series of civilian workers, killing 2, wounding another, and then he took his own life. The other occurred this morning at a naval air station in Pensacola. The Pensacola shooting resulted in 4 people dead, including the shooter. In this instance, the shooter was identified as a Saudi national attending aviation school. Details have been withheld as the investigation is ongoing, and also, we don't want to keep telling everybody that the Saudis have not been particularly good to us over the years.
Australian Muay Thai legend Wayne Parr retired this week after winning his last bout in the boxing ring. Afterwards, Parr revealed that he needs hip replacement surgery, which is forcing his retirement. He closes out his career after winning 10 world titles with an overall record of 110, 37-1 with 56 KOs. Parr is an Australian treasure and an icon in the fight world. We wish you good luck in the future, sir.
Kamala Harris announced this week that she is dropping out of the presidential race. She cited as a reason that her campaign lacked the funding to continue. She also took a jab at some of the other Democratic presidential hopefuls, stating that she herself isn't a billionaire and can't just fund the campaign. Never forget, we're all victims, people. We're all victims. Harris initially started very strong and was a front runner to win it all, before calling Joe Biden a racist and then being summarily executed and eviscerated by Tulsi Gabbard on national television. It's a tough race now for the Democrats, who have a mere 15 paltry options available.
On Monday, a police officer shot a 17-year-old student after he was brandishing a gun in a classroom in Waukesha, Wisconsin. The police were called when a classmate stated that he had seen the student holding a handgun earlier before class. When the police arrived, they ordered the student to remove his hands from his pockets. He didn't, and then he pulled the gun and pointed it at the police. One officer fired, striking the suspect and ending the situation. The student is recovering and is in stable condition in the hospital. That's clean work by an 11-year veteran of the police force. Citizens of New Zealand who complied with the mandatory buyback of firearms have had all their personal security and information violated and exposed by poor website security. The info included names, addresses, bank account details, gun license numbers, and dates of birth by all the active users. According to sources, gun dealerships were able to access everyone's information across the board. Investigators believe that the company that made the website accidentally gave gun dealers more access than everybody else. New Zealand implemented this program on March 15th. So far, 43,000 of an estimated 175,000 military-style semi-automatic assault weapons, or MSSAs, have been turned in by law-abiding citizens. It is the government's intention to have all of these MSSAs turned in by the end of December, which, given the way the program has gone thus far, doesn't look attainable. After the cutoff date, the government's going to follow up by prosecuting gun owners, which could lead them up to 4 years in prison. There has naturally been concern that those people who haven't turned in their guns already won't readily be compliant when ordered to do so when that date comes. Especially given the fact that the government basically betrayed the trust of the law-abiding citizens by turning over all their personal information to whoever was out there to take it.
And finally, in Florida Man news, a Florida man that was given the gift of a baby Einstein stroller at a baby shower this week opened it to find a loaded Mossberg rifle instead. He got super excited and exclaimed, "You got me a gun!" The couple who bought it, however, were horrified. One, because now everyone knew that they had bought it at Goodwill and it wasn't in fact new. And two, because it wasn't a stroller but a loaded weapon. They called the police, who initially let the man keep the weapon before coming back the next day to take it because they wanted to remove whatever joy he had left. And with that, I'm Nick Palmisano.
And I'm Matt Finney.
And this is the Bad News Network. Our news is at least as bad as the news you're getting already, and I've got to tell you, the way that we keep doing this show is because, well, RangerUp.com funds everything that we do. So if you've never bought from us before or you want to buy something from us, you can go to RangerUp.com and use code BNN throughout the holidays for 25% off site-wide. We don't do a lot of selling on this show, but, you know, it's what pays the bills.